Hello and welcome to another needlet video. This one is about acupuncture, what it is and how can we use it, what can it do for us. Acupuncture is one of the 5 main tools of Chinese medicine. It's the first tool, most popular, most used, most widely used, and uh, very little we know about it, but it's actually the most widely understood of the 5. So 5 tools are acupuncture, uh, herbal medicine, Tai Chi, and Qigong as exercises for maintaining health and preventing disease, and finally Chinese medical massage, Tuina. So out of these 5 tools, most people, when they think Chinese medicine, they think acupuncture. So acupuncture is a way to treat the human body. It's a way to influence the flow of energy and flow of life force in the body by using points on energy highways that run all over the body. In theory, our bodies are energy generating mechanisms. We are machines that create energy, and as long as we keep making it more energy than we spend, we maintain the life inside us. We die not because we run out of blood most of the time. We die because we ran out of energy most of the time. We die because there's just not enough energy being generated to satisfy all the needs of a running body. So in this view, Chinese medicine explains our well-being by functioning of all 12 organs, 12 officials as they refer to them, which are in charge of making, moving and storing energy. So each official has an energy highway, energy pathway, which we refer to as meridian. And all of these meridians, there are 12 organs, 12 officials, 12 meridians, they're all bilateral. They run on both sides of the body. An example, the heart meridian starts in the armpit with heart 1 and runs down the arm to the inside of the little finger, pinky finger, where the small intestine meridian will pick it up on the outside of the pinky finger and bring it back into the trunk of the body and move on to pass the energy to bladder meridian. So energy travels throughout the human body on a 24-hour cycle, almost like a tsunami, like a big wave, traveling approximately every 2 hours. It hits another organ, and we call this this theory the theory of the body clock, the Chinese theory of body clock. So body operates on multiple cycles. One of them is the 24-hour cycle. We operate on moon cycle, on monthly cycle, and we also operate on yearly cycle or cycle of seasons. So for some diseases, typically for their chronic diseases, it will take as much as a year, as a full cycle of seasons, to really see complete disappearance of this disharmony of this disease. So on a daily cycle, we see this wave of energy traveling through organs, and they travel, like I mentioned, approximately every 2 hours, from 11 a.m. when heart starts to 2 hours to 1 p.m. Then 1 p.m. to 3 p.m. is small intestine, 3 p.m. to 5 p.m. is bladder, and so on. The way acupuncture works is we are basically isolating, we're identifying in our diagnostic process, we're identifying which organ is deficient. And we know that because we know Chinese teach us what are the functions of the organ, and where does the organ open to, what are the tissues that specific organ controls, as well as what are the functions, what are the superpowers that we all have that organ is responsible for. So when we see weakness, when we see deficiency, when we see beginning of symptoms on any one of the 5 levels. So the 5 levels of health are physical layer, intellectual, emotional, spiritual, and sexual. So when we can treat all of these, we can address all of these through acupuncture, which is really just incredible. Just the idea that it's possible to heal on every level by healing the physical body is very unique to Chinese medicine, and it's all about, according to them, it's all about our physical ability to maintain life, and then everything else is a manifestation of that. So where in Western medicine we have the mind and the power of mind to influence our physical health. In Chinese medicine, the way we see it, and this is my interpretation, this is how I understand it, because it hasn't been formulated that way, but adding everything up, it makes sense. The way we see it in Chinese medicine is that everything starts from the body. Your brain will not create thoughts, ideas, concepts. Your logic will not function without appropriate glucose levels in your bloodstream, without appropriate oxygen levels in your bloodstream. Your brain will react completely differently, and so will your emotional self. So your emotions are directly dependent on your physical body, according to Chinese. So physical health creates other health. In ancient Greece, we had that knowledge. We used to say, in healthy body, healthy mind. This is 2,500-year-old saying. In Chinese tradition and medicine, this has always been the case. Always we treat it as a machine that creates all of these. All of our behaviors on all 5 levels are a consequence of our physical health. So what acupuncture does is acupuncturist will identify the organ that is deficient, the organ that is in charge for the symptom that we're displaying, and then boost up that organ's ability to perform. So it's again, it can be seen very, very mechanically. It sounds a little bit harsh and mechanic-like, but the truth is really everything we are on every level is the result of this, of what's happening in the trunk of the body where these 12 officials are located. So every organ has its own talents, like I said, and I'll give you an example. For instance, large intestine is the organ in charge of letting go, right? We physically let go through the large intestine organ. But in Chinese medicine, large intestine gives us ability, gives us talent, gives us the power, the superpower to let go on intellectual level of things that don't serve us anymore, of ideas, concepts that used to work but they don't work anymore. Sometimes we get stuck with these situations where we keep trying, we almost like keep banging our head against the wall, trying to do the same thing, because large intestine is not letting go. It's not letting go of things that is not serving me anymore. On emotional level, we see this sometimes in relationships. People say, I just can't let go of her. She's abusing me, she's physically abusing me, and I can't let go. I cannot separate, I cannot go away. So, and this is just the ability to let go on emotional level, just to say, okay, this doesn't serve me anymore. And so is for the spiritual, for ideas, for our religion, for our view of the world, our ability to connect to the world. When large intestine is not working properly, we see inability to let go of concepts that they don't serve us anymore. They don't provide us with what they used to or what we need. And same thing on sexual level. So this is what we see in Chinese medicine, this holistic approach everywhere, over and over. In every way you look, you will see this same thing. So every organ gives us these powers. Lungs gives us inspiration. Small intestine gives us ability to sort the pure from the impure, to physically from the food select, oh, this is vitamin A, I have plenty of that, pass it on to large intestine. Oh, this is vitamin C, I need more of that, keep it in. That's small intestine's job on physical level, but it does the same on intellectual level, gives us instant access to what are my priorities in life. Like, I don't have to analyze them every moment. I know instantly, oh, I have to answer this phone call right away. I see a caller ID, this is important. So on every level, again, the small intestine provides us with talents. And so Chinese give us this list of abilities, this list of talents, list of things that each organ is responsible for. And then what we do is we simply we understand that organ is deficient if those performances are not achieved, if these functions are not completed. And then we start treating the organ to boost up its ability to produce and produce well. So that's how acupuncture works. It involves these 12 meridians. The meridians have 360 points, and these points, each point on each meridian has a different function. There are points on each meridian for each one of the 5 elements. There are points on each meridian called source point that basically governs the flow of energy on the whole meridian. That is the most powerful point on that meridian. And there are other points that we utilize to fine-tune, to gain access to like very, very fine detail in the functioning of the organ. So that's how acupuncture works. So what does that mean in terms of what can it treat? What does it do? So if our organs are in charge of physical, intellectual, emotional, spiritual, and sexual performance, that means that acupuncture gives us access to treating all of these. This is scary. This is really scary because how come we don't know about this? How come nobody talks about this? This is so powerful. The problem is that we don't know about it enough because it's not promoted enough. There is no such thing as a acupuncture promotional body that will just like inform everybody. And second thing is our Western studies struggle hugely with confirming the utility, the actual performance of acupuncture, because we use systems, we test things in the way that does not allow us to test for individual performances. Specifically in acupuncture, we treat almost every headache is linked to a liver, most of them, 9 out of 10. But even if they're all connected to liver, we cannot treat liver in the same way for each person. Every person has a different dynamic going on in their body. The doctor needs to evaluate every person, and so creating a controlled study, forget about the placebo. You just cannot create a controlled study of like every individual being treated separately and call it a study that proves that acupuncture works. So despite all of this, we see acupuncture now penetrating our medical environment in the West. In hospitals, we see acupuncturists on staff. In general population, in day-to-day life, we see acupuncture clinics all over the place. In 1973, when acupuncture started in the United States, there were no clinics. There was no acupuncture in the United States. There were some acupuncturists in Chinatowns of San Francisco and New York, but there was no real way for any of us to get treated. 1973, 50 years later, there's an acupuncturist in every village. If you open Yellow Pages, if you look at acupuncture anywhere in the United States, you will find it. That level of penetration, that speed of acceptance is just unbelievable. I mean, it's hard to compare it to anything other than maybe how fast we accepted mobile phones and television sets. But I mean, this penetration at such high rate, high pace, is really amazing. And it's for a reason, because people are getting better. People are feeling better. So whether you call it pseudoscience, which yes, by definition, it is pseudoscience because there is no scientific way to prove what it does, or you call it one of the health tools in my medicine cabinet, which is probably the most useful way to approach it, not as the only tool, but as one of the things that you utilize to maintain and or to heal your body. Regardless of how you treat it, it's just clear that it offers answers, offers utility, offers very powerful ways to address all of our problems, not just physical, not just emotional, not just intellectual, but spiritual, sexual as well. So this is the very, very basic breakdown of what acupuncture is, how it works. Post your comments down below if you have any questions, and you probably do. Feel free to start a discussion about them, and I will write down more about it and make more videos about this topic if needed. And thank you for watching. Please subscribe, hit the notification bell, and hope to see you again another day. Have a wonderful day. Thank you.